Welcome back, everybody. It's your time to head up on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business.
We're live at Ellucian Live 2025 in sunny, and I might say hot, Orlando, Florida. In case you didn't know, I am not EdUp Experience co-founder Dr. Joe Salustio.
You're not.
I am guest host Dr. Chris Maloney.
Maloney.
Yes, that's Moloney for anybody out there who wants to know. I am a principal strategic specialist with Ellucian, and I am very excited to be sharing the microphone with Dr. Joe Salustio.
Yes.
And Mr. Elvin Freites, the co-founder.
Elvin Freites.
Of the EdUp Experience podcast.
I don't have the right sound effects board, so I'm going to be filling in on the sound effects.
And we're all very, very excited to be joined by our guest, Rich Forrest, the Chief Product and Experience Officer with ESM Solutions. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you did, and I'm not a doctor, sorry.
And you're not a doctor. Oh.
I did pre-med.
Future doctor.
Close, but not
close, but not quite.
Yeah. You're leaving all mistakes here, but yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, Rich. Now, if I understand correctly, this is your third or fourth time.
Third time
on the podcast.
Glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Must be. Well, for those who haven't heard you on prior podcast episodes, why don't you just give us an intro to ESM Solutions and what you all do?
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm Rich Forrest. I'm the Chief Product and Experience Officer at ESM Solutions, and we are very much a core partner with Ellucian. We provide the underlying technology for the Ellucian purchase and Ellucian supplier solutions. So very much around really allowing institutions to purchase what they need to advance education.
Are you talking about procurement?
Procurement. Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about procurement these days. And sorry to Chris, I don't mean to jump in when I'm not supposed to.
Please do.
What is happening with procurement right now with everything going on in higher ed? Are there massive disruptions in the procurement processes right now? Or are schools just wondering, like, is everybody buying up everything just in case? Like, what's the state of what's happening?
I think possibly a little bit more the other way, that the people, the spend is a little bit more nervous than it's been. So people may not be spending just yet, just to wait to see what happens. But generally, we haven't seen any major waves just yet. I think they will come. I think there is always a nervousness in education to just ensure that you don't overspend. That's really what we're here for. But I think we're hoping really to sort of see there is more confidence in buying what they need to through solutions like ours, through procurement solutions. So there's quite often within institutions a lot of what's called off-contract spend. So people.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, well, you may, but the CFO out there does not like that.
That's the way we work here at the EdUp Experience, off-contract spend. I have to keep telling Elvin, stop, dude, stop spending off-contract.
So, really trying to bring that back in into the security of process and procedure, but not slowing down the ability to get what you need in your hands when you need it.
Awesome. So talk to us more about the relationship with Ellucian specifically, and how what you're doing is evolving as Ellucian evolves.
Yeah, so it revolves really around, and just for full disclosure, I also used to work at Ellucian like a lot of people. So when I was at Ellucian, we started to work on a lot of the capability focus. So rather than focusing on product, focusing on capabilities. What do institutions need to do their jobs, and not talking about software. So we're really focused around the finance capability. And within that finance capability, you've got a lot of different things. You've got supplier management, you've got your general ledgers, you've got purchasing, you've got sourcing. So that's RFPs and those sorts of things. So we're very much partnering with Ellucian to really embellish on that supplier management, the purchasing and the sourcing side of the finance capability. So what we are doing in terms of the partnership is very much working on making it seamless for the institutions, not giving them a different experience, but giving them a
Simpler.
A simpler.
Is that why your experience has now been added to your title? Because it's a big deal to
I just
experience.
love the word experience.
You do? I do too. In fact, the institution I just came from before I started working at Ellucian, I was the chief experience officer.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
well, you need
like,
to add product to it. Then
well, no, because I can't do anything except use products. I don't create them. I'm an expert or failure of product user. But the word experience matters a lot, both externally to people. It matters to us as consumers, the word experience, and it matters to students, and it matters to institutions which are trying to provide the student experience to students. But they need an experience too. They're buying stuff.
Well, exactly. I mean, the point of purchasing something and then the thing arriving shouldn't be 6 months. But quite often with processes, and a lot of procurement processes have been very much paper-based even to this day, which is an unusual thing to say in the year 2025. But that is true. Procurement can still be paper-based, or even at the best sort of spreadsheet. So those procurement processes can be a long journey,
to say the least.
Yeah. So what we've been doing with Ellucian in terms of the partnership is using the experience solution. So we're going to be using the word a lot today. So we've been developing not only our ethos integration, which we talked about in previous podcasts, but very much focusing now on the experience journey. So we developed 5 experience cards from purchase approvals. You can also buy through experience. You don't have to go to a different platform or a different, we call it the alt tab journey. You're not going through different screens. You're just going to experience. Whatever you need to do your job is there, whether it's approving something, whether it's buying something, seeing what you have bought, where it is in the journey. And we're even mashing up data, so we're bringing information from Colleague and Banner around the budget information and bringing that to the point of approval and the point of purchase, so that when you're buying something, you can see if you can afford it, which is a novelty. But we mentioned this at an event last year, and we got applause in the room. It's like, we need that.
We need to be able to see how much things cost here.
Yeah. And do we have the budget? So rather than it getting to an approval and being rejected because the funds aren't there, actually seeing and putting the emphasis at the point of purchase or the point of approval, if it gets that far, and really driving the confidence in purchasing. So it allows people to purchase with confidence. They know they can afford it, or they can't afford it, or need to use different budgets. So we're trying to speed that up. We've got a lovely partner which we work with, Central Community College, who we will be presenting with later this week. And they've implemented the solution. They've implemented the experience cards with us, and the speed and process that they've accelerated from months down to minutes now to do an approvals process. Purchasing, they're now able to purchase. It's thousands and thousands more requisitions than they used to. It wasn't up to 1,000 a year. They're now in the tens of thousands of things that they can purchase. So it's fabulous to be able to enable that, and it's all, again, with confidence within the ability of the budgets. They're not off spend, it's not off contract, they're not getting in trouble at the end of the year thinking, how did we buy so much of this when we couldn't afford it? It's bringing it earlier in the journey and understanding what can be done when. Oops, sorry, bashing the microphone here.
That's okay. You're passionate about what you're talking about.
Yeah. My hands are flying. It's a podcast. No one can see. Why am I flying my hands around? But it's very much around that. Putting the power, putting the confidence into the buyer, the purchaser, the approver, and really allowing them to keep on spend. There's so much. You can do lots of investment cases around if you're buying on contract. Because if you're buying on contract, for those that don't know, you're often buying things at a cheaper rate because you've already negotiated a contract with suppliers. You're not just popping into Lowe's or Walmart on the way home, buying what you want and putting it through the travel and expense system, which again happens, but that's more off contract spend. So they're buying things they may think is cheaper, but they're not getting.
They buy it off contract because it's faster.
Right.
Often is, but what we want it to be is not fast. Is not
off contract,
but still the same speed.
It's a huge liability to buy something off contract because you don't know what you're spending. I'm not going to say that I have made major purchases off contract, but I'm also not going to not say that I've made major purchases off contract in higher ed, because it's like, well, so and so can't improve it, or this, that, and the other. It's like, okay, well, I need this for the students, and if I don't have it, I'm going to have retention problems. So should I ask for forgiveness? What is it? Ask for forgiveness instead of permission? I can't remember what it was just said not too long ago here that ask for, but that's true, right? Mm-hmm. If I save a couple of students because I bought something off contract, that's going to be worth the spend that I made, but also now it's outside the budget. Now if it's outside the budget, it's hard to track. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable in the long run.
Yeah, definitely.
See, I get passionate too. I'm like,
there you go.
Damn it! Why do I have to do all that off contract stuff? Because nobody would approve anything.
It's funny you mentioned students in this scenario. We're at a conference all about student experience.
Student first.
Student first, definitely. And that's one of the things we're also focused on. So one of the things with, I'd say, traditional procurement systems, they were built for a business-to-business world. So a procurement department, whether it's in an education institution or in another corporate institution, purchasing from another supplier. So that's a business-to-business. The reality in the education world is most of your purchases aren't businesses, they're consumers, they're customers. Right. And that could be students, it could be lecturers, whatever it is, but about 80% of the people who are purchasing in an institution are not sat in the procurement department. So yes, it's still important to have those more complex processes catered for in the solution, but what we've built in the last couple of years is a new layer to the system which mimics very much the ethos with experiences to understand who's sat in front of either the screen or the mobile or the tablet, understand them and actually deliver what they need to do what they need to do, and not everything else around it looks really confusing and potentially so confusing that they don't purchase through that and go and buy from Amazon or something else. So we've simplified the process down so that we've got, again, whether it's going through the Ellucian purchase screens or through experience, it understands who you are and just delivers what you need to do your purchasing. So we can actually deliver that to students. We were talking with Einstein Institute yesterday, and they're really excited about
Albert Einstein Institute.
Yeah,
It's New England somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's New York.
I don't know where it is. Yeah, New York.
New York. Yeah. And they're not yet using it. We hope they will one day use it. But we just love working with Shayla. She's the CIO, and just bouncing ideas off. And they have more graduate students. Really, it's more of a research. So it's an R rather than R1. I think they've been reclassified as R research. But very much that his students that are in the institution need to purchase things. They're doing experiments, reactions, reagents, everything that they need. They need it quickly because they're doing things and they need it to be delivered. But again, they don't want to have to go through filling out a procurement form, it going into a process, getting lost, and then 3 weeks later. And so it's very much really accelerating that. And then we're adding, got to use the AI word.
Please do.
Adding that layer of to the process as well, so you don't physically actually need to fill out a form. You just tell the process what you're doing. We were talking yesterday really about even just, this is the type of experiment that I need to do. What do I need to do that experiment? Physically, either talking to it or typing that in, and it goes away and says, well, through deep research, these are the things that you need. Here's where you should get them from, and this is the contract sort of spend that you can get them through the institution. So there's all those areas that we're adding layers onto the solution, so that it just makes it easier. As you were saying, Joe, you don't want to have to wait. You want it quickly.
I've never heard anybody get upset with a more simplified, easier interface or process. Talk to us a little bit more about artificial intelligence and how you all are approaching that as Chief Product and Experience Officer.
There's lots of different ways. I think one way you could say we're approaching it is one with caution, one with excitement, because you have to be, you've got to be secure in this process. We're very excited about it, and we use it really in, I suppose, in 3 different levels. We use it internally, so we use it in our development cycles, that's speeding up development. We use it outside of development, just in our daily processes. I don't think there's anyone who doesn't really go to ChatGTP just to check, have I written this correctly? So improving our own internal business processes, that's one check. The other is things that people label as AI, and I guess we do as well, but more simplified things that we're looking at now in terms of uploading a quote. Rather than having to, at the moment in the process, you can get a quote, you can type that into a non-catalog order. People often don't type it in. Just say see quote, attach the quote, send it off
Right.
to the procurement department. The procurement department then have to type it all out. So simple ways of just, okay, upload the quote, analyse it, get it all ready, and then it just basically speeds up the process. And then the third process is, as I was explaining then, is actually adding a layer onto, if you go onto our website, it talks about buy, shop, browse. Buy it's all around the thought process, the speed of what you're doing and what you're purchasing. So buy is a quick purchase. What did I buy recently? What's on my saved cart? What does the institution want me to buy?
Sure. Yeah.
Shopping is more of a browsing experience, high level. But then the broader browsing experience is where we really go into AI. I don't really know what I need to buy. But I know what I need to do.
Here's what I think I need,
Yeah.
or what I feel like I'm missing right now.
I've got a problem. Help me solve the problem, and how do I go about? So it could be anything from, I need to build a building. Help me with the legal process. What are the local regulations, contractors? What are the RFIs, RFPs that I need to put out? Get those set up. So yeah, quite a complex process there. But the other is the examples that we were talking about earlier around. I'm doing a science experiment. Go back to my own sort of history, so I did a thesis on ovarian cancer research off Chinese synthesis of Chinese medicine. So when I did that, which was a long time ago, and the periodic table was a lot smaller, we had to use books and go and research. But now it would be a case of, this is what I want to achieve. Go and find how other people have done this. Give me the citations, give me the reports, give me the experiments. How can I accelerate this? How can I take this a little bit further? So it's very much adding that layer of, I don't quite know what I need, but I know what I want to do.
Sure. And harnessing that analytic capability of AI to summarize a whole field of research or a whole list of experiments and give you a sort of best practices look at what you need or what's been most commonly used. Yeah,
and I guess it's stepping a little bit out of the traditional thought process of what is procurement, but it is, when you think more about the capabilities of, I'm trying to solve a problem here, and I need to know how to solve it, and solve it within the security of the process that exists in the institution, because you don't want to go off and buy things or purchase things that, you legally might not be allowed to buy. There might be processes that you need to stick in. Certainly there's budgets and there's accounts, or there may be suppliers that we've already got agreements with, or GPOs that we can already purchase these things from. So it's providing the information without the person having to go and search for it. So it's very much that deep research element,
reducing some of the manual complexity as well as the time to get where
big thing.
You make a decision and move things forward. That's fascinating.
Here
we are, it's Sunday.
It is.
At eLive, kind of a soft opening day. We've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday ahead of us. Tell me about what you're looking forward to, what you're excited to hear about while you're here, and sort of what you hope to take away.
So I know there's some big announcements coming from Ellucian. So having worked with Ellucian for a number of years, you get a little bit of the backroom chatter.
Little chatter in the background.
Yeah. So looking forward to that, so everyone get excited. Personally, we've also got some excitement. So we, when we're talking about the experience cards, we were part of quite a large process. There's the Experience Idol, which is for the client side, but there's also a partner version of that. And we've been selected as one of the 3 finalists. So
congratulations. That's an achievement.
It is, and it's just to get the 3 finalists. I mean, it'd be fantastic to win, but honestly, just to get to that stage, so we'll get a mention on Tuesday. But really just to be able to showcase what we're doing a little bit broader. But the finance areas, like it or not, student is first, fully understand that. But to be able to serve the students, the back office has to operate efficiently. Otherwise, you're spending money where you don't need to.
Absolutely.
And it gets taken away from the student. So we're excited about that. We've also got some other awards that we're up for. So we won Integration Partner of the Year last year. We're hoping for another award, which tonight. So hopefully that that goes well. So
Here we go.
come along to our stand. And what we're really looking forward to, and I have been told I'm not allowed to play on this all conferences, we have 3 claw machines on our stand in the hall. So it's because we're in Disney. I mean, it's all on the. We're not allowed to say we get sued by the.
We'll
big
bleep
D.
it out. Go ahead.
Yeah. There's a certain movie with toys in it, and they have the claw. So we've got a lot of branding and marketing around that, but we thought it'd be really fun. Actually, Michelle will kill me for saying this, but the original idea was to have a human claw, so we'd strap someone into a big arm and. Yeah, the legalities.
No
of
risks
that.
or liability concerns with that.
Not at all. No, we didn't want the headlines to be ESM lost 3 clients at literally lost 3 clients. No, it was. But from that, which would have been really good fun. So we've gone to the claw machine. So that's going to be fun. Come to the stand and we can tell you all about what we're doing there. Certainly, we're launching our. New consumer roles, so that's the simplified version. So students, everyone can purchase, not have to go through a more complex process. So that's looking good. And just generally, there's a lot of the content. I've been coming to this since the year 2000, and the content and the buzz that it generates. You understand what are the problems that the institutions are really facing. You understand the reality of it, and being a product guy, it's so important to have that experience. Otherwise, you're developing in a vacuum of technology that you think's good, but it might not be solving anything. It just, we're not necessarily building Apple phones where it can just be whizzy and people will buy it. This has to solve problems. This has to be doing what people need it to do. So, looking forward to understanding what those challenges are, how we can help with them, address them, and seeing what other people are doing with the world. I have to say, there's quite a few things around AI.
There's a lot.
So I want to hear what people are classifying. So I classified it 3 ways. What are other people thinking? What is AI to their mindset, and what do we need to do to react to that as well? But
I think that's a big one. And your colleague from Albert Einstein is going to be on an AI panel.
He is,
while he's here. I'm actually going to be joining him for that panel. So
I'm
looking
fantastic.
forward to learning from him firsthand.
He's a very clever guy. You'll learn a lot.
Absolutely. Yes. So, Rich, as we close out, anything else you want folks who are listening to know about or take away relative to ESM Solutions and the work that you're doing?
I think the main thing I would love to do is people who are here at the conference come along, come to the stand, let us show you how we've been changing the world of procurement. There is a lot that we've done in the last 2 years, and it's a different ESM. So we've got a lot of really good things and cool stuff. Other than that, looking forward to people enjoying the sunshine and coming in with a happy smile on the face. Last year it was the eclipse, and it was a little bit of a letdown in the end because no one saw it. But this year the sun is out. Enjoy it. Get your vitamin D, and then come to the conference all ready for it.
And come play with the claw. You promise you won't grab anybody with the claw and disappear them with it.
Yeah,
fantastic.
We don't get you to sign away.
Be extra clear about that before we let everybody go. All right. Well, thank you, Rich. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And with that, you've just ed upped.